Inside this office, an army of volunteers are making really incredible things happen. They're making sure that about 1,500 children go home from school every weekend with enough to eat for the entire weekend. It's a program called BackPack Beginnings. Parker White is the founder of BackPack Beginnings. How did this all get started for you?
This started when I had my first child. I would look at her and see how much she was dependent on me. I was thinking of other parents who didn't have the resources to give to a newborn or to a child that they love so much. So I wanted to help those families, those children that just really didn't have the resources, didn't have the money to provide their children the food they needed, the clothing they needed, the comfort items that they needed. So really having children was a game changer for me. And when I moved to Greensboro, I wanted to find a way to fulfill that yearning in my heart to give back to children in need.
How did you know even how to get started with this? That's a big goal, especially for a new mom.
Right. So I had heard about food backpack programs when I was living in Washington, D.C., and the idea just intrigued me, and I thought it was such a wonderful concept. So when we moved to Greensboro, I reached out to the school system and I reached out to our local Second Harvest Food Bank. That's really how it got started. I partnered with Second Harvest Food Bank, and my goal was just to serve one school, 50 children, and just be my personal way to give back out of my house from my heart. And I wasn't looking to start a nonprofit. It just really has morphed into that.
Okay, so you started with one school, 50 backpacks. How did it start to grow?
So I knew I needed to raise $8,000 to feed 50 children for an entire year. So I reached out to friends and family in Greensboro, and within a few months I had more than I needed. I had people asking how they could help. So with that help and money, we decided to go to 2 schools. And what led from 2 schools to 3 and 3 on. We're now in 31 schools between our food backpack program and our food pantry program, feeding over 1,500 children weekly. And we've also added a clothing pantry and a comfort backpack program.
So how exactly does it work? Where do the donations come from? How do the backpacks get filled, and how do they get to the children who need them?
So the food backpack program and the comfort backpack program vary a little bit, but we rely on monetary donations to purchase food and purchase the comfort items we need, or in-kind donations. We're always taking food and some of the supplies for the comfort backpacks. We have volunteers come and pick up these bags of food and the backpacks and deliver to our partner agencies, the schools that we serve, and the partner agencies for the comfort backpacks. We are 100% volunteer. We rely on about 200 to 250 volunteers monthly to make this all work.
This is what we might find in a food backpack?
That's right. Every week they get 2 100% juices, 2 shelf-stable milks, 2 proteins, 2 cereals, a vegetable and a fruit, and then sometimes we'll add 1 or 2 snack items if we have those on hand as well.
And these are all kid-friendly, easy to open and prepare.
That's right. For our food backpack program, which focuses on preschool-age children and elementary-age children, we make sure they're pop-top, ready to eat in case there's not adult supervision always around, or if their electricity bills haven't been paid and they don't have or aren't able to cook. So everything is ready to eat. For the older children, middle school and high school children, we have food pantries, and we physically go into the schools and start food pantries in the schools. We have 6 food pantries right now, and those children are receiving larger food items, things that may need to be cooked, and they can physically carry more weight of food home. And we've also introduced fresh food into those. So we have partnered with the produce box to take fresh food to these pantries every Friday as well. So for the comfort backpack, these are age and gender specific backpacks. So they usually get a stuffed animal, a fleece blanket, some kind of toy or other little stuffed animal. They'll get coloring books, some school supplies are in here, as well as hygiene products. And there's crayons and tissues, pen and pencil, socks, comb. Then in here they'll get like shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap and a washcloth.
And these go to children who?
These children have been abused or neglected. They're foster children, homeless, or the refugee children. So it's really children that have gone through a traumatic situation, and we want to give them something to feel comforted, to feel loved, and to feel that somebody's out there supporting them.
And how many of these do you actually give away a year or a month?
We're distributing over 1,400 of these annually.
That's amazing. And I know you've gotten to see and meet some of the children who take home the backpacks. What does that mean to you?
It's wonderful, the stories you hear. We hear of students that have not eaten all weekend and they're coming back to school. They're so hungry, they're unable to learn, and the teachers are really seeing a difference when we send food home with them. Some might say they only ate a box of crackers all weekend, and it just really helps their weekends. One actually wrote us a note saying that when they say their prayers, they thank us. So it's so meaningful. We hear stories from the clothing pantry about children that are duct taping the soles of their shoes back on because they can't afford new shoes, or how one child couldn't attend school for a week because they couldn't afford the uniform clothing, and we got that clothing to them. So we are hearing these stories time and time again from the social workers, from the teachers, and those that are really working with the children, and it's making a big impact.
And how can people help?
We would love for people to come volunteer, get hands-on, and learn more about what we do. Visit our website to learn more. We always take donations, in-kind donations, and just any support. I think visiting our website and coming and seeing us is a great way to get started.
And you're in a small location now, but the future, you're moving. You're going to move to a bigger spot because you're just running out of room here.
We are. We unfortunately have a waiting list of 18 schools. There's so much need. We are actually ranked top 5 in the nation for food insecurity. So we want to grow. We want to help the children that need our help. So in order to do that, we need to move to a larger space. So hopefully that will happen in the near future, and we will need more volunteers for us to continue to grow.
The best way to get involved with Backpack Beginnings is to start at the website, and that website is backpackbeginnings.org.